I have had blue hair, brown hair, black hair, shaved head. I literally looked like a dick. Like, I'm not talking like a fuckwit, like an actual penis with a knob. and as I was stepping over, split go the pants. And like, of all the places to have a split on your gooch, a funeral is probably not the place to do it. It's going back to confidence in the things that you like. So don't listen to all the noise on the outside. Like, if you have something that genuinely makes you feel comfortable, then you will feel comfortable. And so like, I was making PowerPoints and answering phones and pretending I was like some like mergers and acquisitions professional, like as if. But anyway, good on the CV for the 2 seconds that it lasted. But
All right, Dos, we're just saying to our special guest today, I think two worlds are about to collide because I think when he looks at us, he goes, what the fuck am I doing here with probably the least stylish blokes of all time, but celebrity stylist, fashion commentator, Elliot Garnaut. Welcome to the dos&d show.
Woo! Hello, boys. May I just say, like, no criticism on the outfit. You're wearing your own merch, so like you got to hustle.
That was going to be one of my questions. Like, where's the line on too much merch or on self-branding too? Because that's definitely a thing.
Like any outfit, I always say it needs one focal point. So you've got your logo strapped across both of your chests.
Yeah,
that's enough merch. It's distinct enough to be recognised. You don't need it on your pants. You don't need it on your undies. You don't need it on a cap. Just have one moment for the person who's viewing your outfit to go their eye line straight to it. And you've done your job correctly.
That's actually a very good tip. So you're saying we shouldn't have like a hat and a jumper, and like you're just saying just one's enough.
Yeah, I always say from a styling perspective for any outfit, male, female, whatever, let your outfit do the talking with one focal point. So if you're going to have like a really loud jacket, then like let the rest of the outfit complement that.
Okay.
You don't want all these elements conflicting and fighting because it just kind of gets too messy.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Okay. Well, I mean, we were just saying, this podcast, who knows where it's going to go. We do want to talk a little bit of fashion, and we're going to, trust me, we're going to take every tips you can give us today, mate. So all that would be great. But we're also keen to hear your story. But I think you even saying to us off air, you were a bit surprised that you got the call up to our show. You didn't think...
yeah, I mean, like, when I got your email, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've obviously seen you guys on social media, and I've obviously seen the guests that you have on. Primarily, like, my head would go to sport.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I hope that I can add some value throughout the course of this conversation today to your audience, and like also learn some new shit along the way for me too.
I don't know you're going to learn too much from us, mate. But you did say, and we wanted to raise this on air. So again, we like being transparent. So you said to us, what made us think of you, right? And
this is great.
So we like a bit of diversity. So we don't want to just stick to sport or whatever. We like to go out of our comfort zone, and we want to learn too while we're doing this, and hopefully provide for the audience. But what jogged my memory was, I said to you, I was subscribed to Herald Sun, and they get delivered every day. And I was flicking through, and I love a Saturday page 13.
This is a stitch up. This is already a stitch up. Like off the bat.
This is pure. I'm not even putting any GST or mail on this. This is legit. This is legit what happened. And then so I'm flicking through, and I'm like, gee, there's a lot of boys in here that we've had on our show. And this was Melbourne's biggest fuckboys. Melbourne's either hottest or biggest fuckboys or boys on the market.
First of all, this is a terrible reference for this podcast, but it was Melbourne's Mr. Biggs, which is a reference.
That's it, Mr. Biggs.
Do you even know who that is? You don't know who that is, do you?
It's a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah, but what TV show is it?
Sex and the City, isn't
it?
it?
Well done. Okay, so it's Sex and the City. For the girls and the gays listening, they'll be absolutely frothing. So Mr. Big is actually kind of a fuckboy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he's like the catch that the main character in Sex and the City ends up falling for over and over and over and over again. So I was like, is it a compliment? We'll take it as a compliment.
It's a compliment. I mean, any publicity.
I was flattered regardless.
So you were number 3. So you're basically, according to the Herald Sun, you're the number 3 hottest item in Melbourne currently. So I presume you're single.
Or whoever's listening, hit me up. The DMs are wide open. Number 3 is getting 0 action in the DMs. Let me give you the hot tip.
Well, because again, a couple of our former guests
Who else was...
Clint was in there.
Stannis was on there, yeah.
Clint was in there. Tommy was in there.
Tommy Sheridan.
Felix was in there as well. So there's a few of our boys that...
Sounds like a shopping list, boys.
Yeah. And I thought,
what is this? You're like, Jack Charles next. Perfect, thank you.
And then I'm like, well, if this kind of fits our build a little bit, then I'm like, okay, well, let's have a look at some of these others. And then obviously already knew of you, but then I'm like, you know what? That was the thing that I'm like, I'm emailing him today. And here we are.
Did we slide the DM, or was it just straight email?
It was email.
No, it was very professional. I rocked up with a deck. I was like, this is legit. This is an operating podcast. This is not in the back of someone's garage.
Yeah, it's not our apartment anymore. No.
Well, it was a little intimidating, mate, because again, like we had Joey Scandizo last year, and I'm sitting there going, oh, like, is my hair okay? Like, how am I feeling? And right now, like, so I'd love to know when you
I'm self-conscious.
when you leave your house, do you always feel like you have to dress to impress in case somebody knows you and you can't just get around in your pajamas?
That's such an interesting question because, like, I feel like different cities in my head have different dress codes. So I'm born and raised in Melbourne. So like 90% of the time, because you're at home and you're not making a shitload of effort, if you work in front of the computer or whatever, and I'm not seeing anybody for the whole day, I'm not going to like go and pull all this stuff out of my wardrobe and like dress up to the nines to sit at my home desk. So like Melbourne, I'll always be in like, I call it like the activewear hybrid. So it'll always be like a gym kind of short element with like a basic t-shirt and then a cool sneaker and a cool jacket. So ultimately, I'm not kind of looking completely disheveled, but I'm not looking completely done up either.
Love it.
So I can hit like the shops and be like, hey guys, peace, love it. Like cool cap, nice pair of sunnies. But then, you know, like I'm not having to take everything to the dry cleaner. Because that's the other thing. I spend a shitload of money on clothes and a lot of that stuff you have to get dry cleaned. So I'm like, from Monday to Thursday, if I'm rocking around in my gym gear, straight in the wash.
Have you ever walked into a dry cleaner? Or when was the last time?
No, I haven't.
Because I haven't either.
A suit.
Ever? In your whole life?
I have.
I picked up suits. Suits.
Yeah,
That's the only
exactly.
time. But I think I was picking up for my dad. Yeah.
And boys, after a wedding, if you're having a big night on the Terps and you're in a tuxedo, that has to go to the dry cleaner. Do not wear that like 2, 3, 4 times in a row.
I got a story for you.
That is not okay.
So is this okay, Elliot? Is it okay rocking up to a wedding with a massive hole in your crotch because somebody...
Depends whose wedding it is.
True. Eagle Rock comes down, everyone's pants come down.
Yeah,
it's fine.
mate, like, hello.
But yeah, this man here rocked up to a wedding. He said, do you think I could get away with this? He had a massive hole, like, crotch area.
I mean, like...
That was like, it was gooch. It was gooch.
Yeah, full gooch.
Yeah.
Do you have undies on?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Don't worry, I actually rocked up to a funeral late. This is such a kind of grim story. I actually rocked up to my best friend's grandmother's funeral late, and I don't know why, I decided to jump the fence of the church on Toorak Road instead of just enter like a normal person. And as I was stepping over, split go the pants. And I'm like, of all the places to have a split on your gooch, a funeral is probably not the place to do it. So I just had to sit there fully cross-legged and be like, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, forgive me for my sins.
I always think that too. When I leave the house, if I've got only one pair of pants, I always think, okay, worst case, if these rip or something goes wrong, where's the nearest, like, how can I get myself out of this? Where's the nearest, whatever,
I'll teach you how to sew off air.
Perfect. I'd love that. I'd love that.
Insurance policy.
Again, I mean, we won't probably go too fashion nuffy because we just won't be able to hold that conversation with you. But again, like just off the top, a bit of basic tips for let's start with the boys. We'll go into the girls as well, but let's start with the guys. What's in this day and age, 2025? What's kind of your safe bets?
I think for me the biggest thing for the boys is to like not overcomplicate it too much. I think that the lads probably they go in quite hard and sometimes like overthink it more than my female clients. Yeah. Boys are actually much more structured in their like opinion of how they like to dress as well. I find that women are much more receptive to being styled or change or suggestion, whereas guys are like, I like this is kind of what I like. So my advice in that would just be to find a really good wardrobe of staples that you know fit your body. Everybody looks different, everybody has different body shape, and everyone likes different stuff as well.
Yep.
So if you find pieces that you feel the most confident in, they're definitely the pieces that you should have in your wardrobe. And then pair it all back. Like, as I said when we were chatting in the opener, like, don't put on, you know, a pink pair of pants with a blue shirt and a green cap. Like, you look like a clown. So try and find a universal element that links the outfit together. Like you boys have done today, for example, like the navy and the black, and then you've got the white shoes that ties with your white shirt. You've got black that ties with your black pants. So you just want to create a level of uniformity that the different items are actually speaking to each other and not fighting against each other.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It's like a really simple formula. So like if you're going to go with, like today I've got blue and white striped t-shirt, blue jacket.
Love the jacket, by the way.
Blue jeans, thank you. So it all ties in. So just try and find a common thread in the outfit as the building blocks.
So in terms of like, and I'm thinking like if you're going out, like when you want to go out and you want to look good, there's the old like peacocking style, right? Like wear something really loud. Like what do you advise against that or what?
But peacocking for the purpose of picking up? Or peacocking
not necessarily.
In D's case, yes.
Yes. Not necessarily.
But then, okay, hold on. Let's reverse engineer this question. Okay. If you were going to go out and you were peacocking, run me through fit.
Well, back in the day, I had the blonde hair, bleach blonde hair.
Okay, yeah.
I had the
well,
nose.
That's a fucking loud start.
Yeah, so that was it. That was that.
Same haircut as well?
Not as long.
Because that's full cocky, like yellow, like mullet.
Yeah.
Let me find a photo.
No, we don't need to do that. That would have been my peacocking.
No, what about clothing though?
Clothing, well, I normally...
You've always been a chino guy.
Chinos and either a shirt or a button-up. But they're pretty simple.
Yeah, but I don't think that's peacocking.
Like these kind of... Yeah. But then
you wear a bright red or yellow runner or...
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like what...
Yeah.
I will say, there's a differentiation when you watch people's energy about people who know that they feel that they look good and people who are trying too hard. And the people who organically look cool in whatever iteration that is, I find have a more engaging energy about them. Because it's more the confidence than it is the clothes.
Yeah, gotcha. This episode of the dos&d show with the great Elliot Garnaut is brought to you by our good friends at Fleet Plan Hire Solutions. Now, guys, this is the fashion stylist. And when it comes to all styles on the roads, bridges, tunnels, anything to do in the earth-moving world, Fleet Plan Hire Solutions, they're number one on the style on and off the track. fph.com.au for more information. Let's get back in the episode now with Elliot Garnaut.
Yeah.
I've always been, my mum will, I actually cop it from my mum all the time because my father's son I have a lot of the same clothes I've had forever, right? Like a lot of this, especially the around home clothes.
Yeah,
so
fine.
a lot of the same trackies or a lot of the same hoodies or even, maybe a jumper that I might wear out or a shirt that I've had for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And mum will always, but I find it overwhelming shopping. I find getting a kit together and finding something overwhelming, especially when it comes to online, because I don't
There's
like
so many options.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like I don't like going into the shops because I'm self-conscious and I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know what to get or what to choose but then online I'm like, but then there's too much to choose from, so then I just don't buy anything.
Yeah.
How do I go about just?
My advice for that is start with things that you know you really like. So if you really like the color navy blue, and you're online, then there's a myriad of filters on all of the online shopping platforms. Start with color. So filter out all the shit that you know you're not going to wear. If you don't like pink, don't siphon through 10 pages of pink shit. Just stick to navy blue, and then immediately you've curated a short list of stuff that you immediately gravitate towards. So think about things like color, things like fit. Like, for example, if you don't like baggy jeans are such a staple in everyone's wardrobe. There are filters for different pant sizes, pant lengths, pant shapes. And so you just start to use the filters more appropriately online, and it will spit out all the things that you already know that you like. So you're not having to kind of waste time looking at stuff that you know you're never going to buy anyway. And then you resolve that feeling of being overwhelmed on shopping online. And also,
I love this.
Shopping in person, the retail staff on the floor are amazing. They're trained so well to know what they're doing. Don't be shy. Don't feel embarrassed to talk to those people. They're there to help you, and use those people as your filter. So say, I only like navy. What do you got?
Do you feel that way when you go into a shop?
100%.
I feel like
I get so overwhelmed.
The person working there, I'm like, oh, she's going to think I'm stupid. Like if I'm asking questions or not sure or...
I worked retail for
so dumb.
long.
1825.
And it was so much fun when people would come in with a purpose, because they would give me purpose. And I loved building that relationship and that rapport with the prospective new client or someone who was going to come back again, and they're shopping for their kids. That was also a really, really fun one as well. Like mums and dads would come in and be like, oh, you're like 20 years younger than me. Like, what's cool? Like, what should I get for my kids? And you build these great relationships with these people.
Really keen to actually dive into more about you in a second, but I do have one more personal question as well before we get in there.
Use me, boys.
That's exactly what. Now you know why we got you in. But I also think about the old rule about how long you should actually have clothing in your wardrobe before you should actually recycle, throw it out. So do you have a general rule of thumb? Because I did read something the other day that said go into your wardrobe, anything that you have not worn in a year, get rid of.
You're saying from that perspective?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I always say, I reverse it. I'm like, when you're buying something, think about 3 ways that you can wear it, or 3 things that you could wear it to. So you might have birthday party, wedding, like whatever, night out with the boys. Or if you've in your wardrobe, do the same thing again. It might already exist. Be like, can I get 3 more wears out of this? Or am I done now? And then you can sell it online. You can donate it to charity and like put it back into the circular fashion economy so someone else can buy it and love it. But for the most part, like brainstorm things and where you can wear it to. Although, to be honest, I don't really listen to that advice of my own. I buy it and I'm like, oh, well, I'll find something for it. And I've got shit hanging in my wardrobe. It's had tags on it for like a year and a half. And that's bad. But
that's
then
I
make an effort to pull it out and wear it. But for the most part, if you're buying something that's great quality and timeless, then you can wear it for as long as you want to.
Yeah.
And as long as you take good enough care of it and it looks like it's in all right condition, then keep pulling it out for as long as you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to the story of how you got to becoming the stylist, let's say, because how do you become this person? Is it just a pure love for fashion? How did it come about?
Yeah, so I studied a Bachelor of Design at university, did fashion design, but I kind of found that there were way more talented kids than me at design school. Like, way more talented. These designers are, like, unbelievably creative people. I found that my strength was probably more in building relationships and getting to know people and that kind of thing. So I was like, well, what is the career in fashion that falls under that category? And for me, it was the styling element. So I moved overseas. I lived in Hong Kong for a while, and I worked as a fashion buyer over there for a department store. And that was where I started to, like, really build my rapport and my knowledge about, like, international fashion brands and all that kind of stuff. And then I came back to Australia, and a girlfriend of mine had a talent management agency, and she actually reached out to me. I was actually working for my dad at the time in finance, which was just a fucking rogue plot twist for me because I, like, literally can't count to 10. And so, like, I was making PowerPoints and answering phones and pretending I was, like, some, like, mergers and acquisitions professional, like, as if. But anyway, it looked good on the CV for the 2 seconds that it lasted. But anyway, so a girlfriend of mine reached out and was like, oh, this chick's looking for a stylist, and she follows you on Instagram. She likes your personal style and she thinks you're funny. And I was like, well, if that's the prerequisite for a stylist, sign me up. I'm in. Like, let's go. And now that was October 2017, and here we are today.
Wow.
Like, the thing that I find obviously difficult is in terms of when it comes to stylists, I mean, everybody's got their own eye. So,
yeah.
And you said, like, for example, and I'm interested to hear this, like, women are more receptive typically to the advice you give than maybe some of the males are.
Yeah.
But yeah, in your world, what makes somebody a good stylist? Because if it's so personal to people, do you pick trends before they erupt? Are you just good at body shapes and faces and skin tones? Or
no, my biggest thing is what makes a good stylist is, like, working with your client and listening. So I find that there's two kinds of stylists globally. One is a kind of stylist who develops their own aesthetic as that stylist, and so talent who may be more receptive to being told what to do will gravitate towards that because they want to be told what to wear.
Gotcha.
Whereas I work the opposite. I get to know my clients. I love to figure out who they are, what they like, what is their personal sense of style.
Yeah.
And then work with them collaboratively to build on that personal sense of style. Because ultimately, as I said earlier about confidence, if these people feel like themselves and they feel like they look amazing, then it will translate 100% of the time, absolutely guaranteed. So for me, I love to work with them. Like Rebecca Harding, who is the partner of Andy Lee, she's more of a preppy kind of style girl, and so we'll always lean into that kind of aesthetic. Whereas, now I work with Carrie Bickmore, and Carrie is not as preppy as Beck, so then I'll offer different options for Carrie. Whereas when I'm working with Andy Lee, he's a bit more of a traditionalist, and Andy really loves, classic suiting and Australian brands like P. Johnson. So you start to develop these specific like brand case studies for these people and what they like to wear.
Can I just ask then, so you mentioned these names.
Yeah.
When do you actually work with them? Are they saying, I'm going to be on TV and I need 5 outfits if they're on the project each night, for example? Or is it someone...
Not Channel 10, Channel 7.
Oh, I thought you said Carrie.
I was going to say it.
Oh,
yeah. Did I get my...
I'm joking,
you work for Channel 7. I was like, we're not mixing 10 and 7 up,
for some reason... Sorry, yeah. I know you're Channel 7, but I thought, for some reason, I thought
Carrie... Carrie was on the project for a long time.
There you go. That's how I knew her. So I thought...
Now she has a national radio show with Tommy Little.
There you go. Okay. So that's my mistake. Slap on the wrist. But I was going to say, so do you go, okay, they're going to be on TV 5 nights a week or radio, whatever, or is it they literally want it for personal use? I've got weddings coming up.
Oh, no. It's definitely more like public appearance focused. A lot of it's red carpet.
Okay, a red carpet.
Like big time. That's like number one.
Yep.
And then there's like different bits and pieces. Like as we sit here and record the pod today, Carrie was at Live Golf yesterday. Yep. So we wanted to do a cool outfit for that, which was really fun. And so like I like to method dress is what I call it, where you like take inspiration from the event that they're going to. So Carrie was going to the golf yesterday, so we kind of lent into like a golfy vibe.
Elite.
And so that's how I kind of start to build out the concept for a client as well. So obviously to their personal style, but then I'll also look at what they're attending. And so like for the NGV Gala, which is a big red carpet on our calendar, it's to celebrate the gallery and the opening of the summer show at the gallery. So I lean into what's the artist, you can get more creative, you can get a little bit more camp with outfits like that. So it's very much based on the event they're attending as well.
So how many clients, say, are in your stable at the moment?
At the moment, I've got a solid 5 who I'm working with regularly.
Wow.
And I took a bit of time off styling too. So it's actually really fun to be back on the tools with talent. And also, like, I really love and respect the people I work with too. So it's really enjoyable. I feel like I'm working with friends.
Do you go shopping with them? Take us behind the scenes. Like,
Nah, no shopping.
No, okay.
I'm too bossy for that. I'm like, this is what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is what you're wearing. Trust me. I'll go shopping for them, but I never go shopping with them.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that's actually bullshit. I go shopping with Harding all the time, but never for work because like
As
Harding's one of
mates
my best
or-
girlfriends.
Yeah,
So we'll
okay.
just like go shopping. We hit chatty for shits and giggles and like pop into Apple, pop into JB Hi-Fi, pop into a couple of girls' clothing stores, get a boost, bounce.
Get a boost.
boost
Mega
and
magic.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Mega Magic.
Yeah.
Exactly. Watermelon Crush, actually, but yeah, Mega Magic's is not bad. Not a bad second.
So when you talk about pushback, for example, what's an example? Is it you're pushing something? I'm not saying you're pushing, but somebody feels like they're out of their comfort zone. And how would you convince somebody that they actually look great? Or is it just a lost cause? If you were to style us,
Yeah.
and we just go, mate, I can't. Like,
But that's then I have to respect that.
Okay.
And that's the number one thing that I have in my work is like making sure that I'm immensely respectful of these people's personal identities, because ultimately how they're dressing is a reflection of who they are as people. If they don't like it, that's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the drawing board, and we'll massage another concept. But for the most part, I would hope that I've got enough of an understanding of who they are as people to be able to present options as good foundations for them to then adapt their personal style to as well.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, or you go into a cafe, or and surely there's a fashion or just a daily clothing or daily living kind of way of, or, for example, right? If I'm walking down the street and I'm wearing something that you typically would go, that's just an ick in the fashion world. Like, you cannot do that. We actually were talking about icks earlier on an earlier episode. But for you, what's just a big no-no, and you see it way too often with everyday people?
I think head to toe labels is a big no-no for me. Like, there's a lot of people who think that because something's expensive or because something's designer, it's good. That is not the case at all. You can find the best stuff in the most affordable stores, both online and in bricks and mortar. So you don't have to, not everything has to be expensive. Not everything has to be fancy. You can find some really amazing, affordable stuff that's not plastered in logos and look 10 times more stylish than someone who's got a Chanel cap, a Gucci jacket, a Dior t-shirt, and, you know, Prada jeans. And it's all like logo this, conflict it, that we were saying earlier about things conflicting.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Like, take 2-3 things off and let one thing do the talking, and then pair it back with a cool t-shirt from Cotton On. That to me is actually more stylish. Finding the hybrid between, you know, the high and the mid.
So, and again, like, it's obviously very generic. We don't have a test case, but again, using the analogy of walking down the street.
Yeah.
For the everyday person, male or female, like they say, like, for example, black is a slimming color, for example. Like,
Yeah.
what's like, do you have some just
Yeah, but
basic...
what's going to make me look skinny? Thanks.
No, what are some like basic tips for people, you know, for people that may, like some that maybe say they're self-conscious about being overweight or being too skinny or just being tall or short? Or is there any like general rules of thumb?
Shit, that's such a broad question.
Yeah,
Because like,
it
we
is
just
very-
had like 4 different categories. I think for me, again, I sound like such a broken record. I'm sorry if it sounds shit, but like, it's going back to confidence in the things that you like.
Yeah.
So don't listen to all the noise on the outside.
Yep.
Like, if you have something that genuinely makes you feel comfortable, then you will feel comfortable. Like, if you are somebody who is worried about their specific part of their body or something like that, then wear something that will cover that part of your body.
Yeah.
Like, you don't necessarily just avoid accentuating the things that make you feel self-conscious, essentially would be my advice. But at the same time as well, rock it. Like, you know, it's just clothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's no reason that you can't go out there and wear the best something that you love that someone else is wearing as well.
Yeah.
How big's your wardrobe at home?
Big enough.
Is it?
Okay, put it this way. I moved into my new place. The wardrobe was designed for 2. My ex had half the wardrobe. When we split up, I obviously moved fully into his side of the wardrobe too. I've also moved into my guest room wardrobe, and now I've run out of space.
Holy shit.
But that's bad. I'm not encouraging this behavior. That's fucked up. Like, I should not be buying stuff. But then I'm always like, it's my job, and I buy stuff to wear for work, and I buy stuff to wear on Channel 7, that kind of stuff as well. So it's always nice to have. I've got staples that I go back to. I've got new stuff, but then I sell it all. I have an online store called shop.elliotgarnaut.com, and so when I've had the time in it that I feel like it's had, it then goes up there, and then somebody else can buy it and create some awesome new memories in it, which is fucking fun because then people like tag me on Instagram when they bought my old clothes and stuff, and I love it. I love seeing what people have done with something that I loved. Some seriously stylish followers on my Instagram account. I'm like, power to you. I don't know why you're following me. but like they look great.
Can I ask a really personal question? You don't
Sure.
have to answer this, but you don't have to give a number.
Yeah.
But what is the most expensive clothing item you have in your wardrobe? It could just be. You could.
I wonder if it's a what?
Yeah, could it be a shoe?
What
or could
item
it
is
be-
it?
It's I'm not sure if you boys have heard of a brand called Hermes. Do you know
No.
the brand Hermes?
Nah.
Hermes is a French luxury fashion house that specialises in leather. Are you nodding?
No,
Someone's
I
nodding.
think he's laughing.
Someone's
Do you
nodding
know
over
it?
there. Oh, you don't know it? Yeah. As in, literally no one knows it. How did I end up on this podcast? Seriously, what the hell is going on here?
Well, Sammy knows.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Sammy. Okay, so there's a French luxury fashion house called Hermes. They're very famous for their leather goods.
Okay.
They make handbags, very famous handbags. There's 2 handbags from this brand. One's called an Hermes Kelly, and another one is called an Hermes Birkin bag. Arguably the most famous bag in the world. I have recently taken to starting a small collection of Hermes Birkin bags.
Small collection. So
Can
not
you
just one.
just Google what
Yeah.
they go for?
To my dismay, because I'm a fucking idiot, because they're expensive. But, boys, they increase in value.
I was going to say because I
Significantly
So it's an
increase in value.
investment.
By the way, anybody listening, I'm not giving any financial advice or telling anybody to go
Well, it
out
is your
and start
background,
buying.
financial-
Yeah, well, after my
Ignore
background
that.
in finance, shit, maybe people should be listening.
Well, my ex-girlfriend used to say this all the time because I don't know if it was this brand, but she used to talk about a bag. And her thing was she just said, it increases in value. This will
yeah, there
make
we go.
money. So is this it?
Yeah, that's
So
it. There you go. That's
you
the
go.
bag.
It's got a plant growing out of it.
That's about, yeah, that one's super expensive because that's a green room. No, that is the bag. But
they genuinely do increase, don't they? 'Cause
they
there's-
increase significantly in value. It depends which ones you buy. It depends what year they're from. There's obviously like all these different defining characteristics that make one higher or lower value. They come in different textiles, leathers, bark, crocodile skin, lizard skin, ostrich skin, whatever it is, right?
So we shouldn't invest in sports cards. We should invest in a bag.
Don't invest in a bag unless you're going to use it. 'Cause my other thing is, well, people buy these and then they just like leave them to collect dust. And obviously, if you're buying them to then accrue value, I can understand that. But I'm very much a believer in if you're going to buy something, you're going to treat yourself to something special, use it. That's not just clothes, that's everything.
Can you
You
give
know,
us some?
use
You
it.
don't have to give us an exact dollar figure, but we're north of what kind of number are we talking? For?
They're expensive.
Thousands.
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 Okay,
Thousands.
we'll leave it at that.
I don't want to sound like a fuck.
No, you don't sound like a fuck.
What's the most?
I know. I was going to go.
Oh, I was just going to ask him that question. What's
What's the most I've spent on a
what's the
clothing?
most you've spent on a piece of
Oh,
clothing?
God almighty. Not much.
But hold on. Cost per wear.
I'm thinking
That's-
about-
there you
I'm
go.
thinking about-
Cost per wear.
Target or Kmart are we talking? Yeah. I've treated myself to a few shirts, but
Bit of cotton on here and there.
no, well, I've actually
Bit of factory back in the day.
I've got a bit design, not designer.
There you go.
but
That looks like a
semi-
good quality hoodie, though.
Oh, these are beautiful. They retail $69.99.
So there you go.
Yeah,
It'll last you a
but,
lifetime. You keep it, the whites out of the blacks.
yeah, well, that's it. No, not a lot, Dos, to answer your question. What about you? Probably shoes. I probably spent.
I've bought.
I'm nowhere near thousands.
I got
though.
a jacket fitted, like a proper tailored jacket.
Oh yeah,
Chose-
okay, that's great.
got my initials on it and like chose the
Fancy.
print. Yeah, I loved it. But again, I don't wear it really enough. But that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
But get it out. If you're going out with your girlfriend on date night, pull it out. Don't just leave it there for a special occasion.
True.
You know, and dress it down. Put it on with a white t-shirt, cool pair of jeans.
What's funny?
Pair of chinos.
So I had a wedding to go to the other day. I
Yeah.
actually put it on to kind of see if it would go, and I don't wear it purely because it actually doesn't fit me probably the way it should fit me. So
Well, that's the other interesting. Actually, Sammy, this might be the time when we bring up. I want to have a bit of quick fire with Elliot about
Okay.
some of the styles over the years, and we might really dissect and have a look at.
Are these
fashion-
you boys?
No. Oh,
We
gee,
should have done that,
should.
though.
Mate,
You could have seen my blonde
as long
hair.
as they're not me, because it's like
No, they're not you.
I was like
get
Zac Efron.
Dave's Instagram up.
Zac-
Get my Instagram up.
Yeah, go on. You can
I
do
was
that.
Zac Efron high school. No, that shit's been erased from the internet. Don't worry about that. The side fringe, like the whole bit, the Zac Efron high
really?
school musical moment. Oh, boys, I was obsessed.
We went. Did you
Yeah,
ever go
I'm-
to Zac Efron, Troy
I
Bolton?
actually saw High School Musical on Ice. That's how
Oh,
much
did you? I
we
see you
loved
really
it.
enjoyed
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't say high school musical on ice. I'm a bit jealous, actually.
And I copped it. I remember going back to school in year 7. Everyone was asking, "What did you do on the holidays?" Don't tell them you went to High School Musical on Ice. Let me just say.
there's a tidbit for everyone. But yeah, what we're going to do is, so Sammy, our great producer over here, he's gone and found some styles over the years. Now, these might range back, I think, maybe as far as maybe some of the 60s, some of them.
I think he's actually on mine or your Instagram.
The
Is he?
1960s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have a look at
We're
how
going for like
fashion...
historical.
Yeah, we're going historical. We're having a look at how... Oh, fuck off. Sammy said he's going to show a photo. Oh, okay, we'll get it over and done with now, and then we can...
Is this is this like something what he's wearing? Or
All right.
yeah.
I'm pumped.
Oh, God
I'm
almighty.
excited for this too.
What photo is it?
What's the date on it, by the way?
Oh, no, not that one.
Wait, Conan, you're going to have to zoom in. I forgot my glasses. Here we go.
How's the pose?
Okay, so I know you
pose-
like the footy, right? So what's with the black armbands? Had you had a friend die, or what's the go?
They were
part of the shirt?
They were part of the shirt.
Oh, part of the shirt. Okay, good. Just
What's
checking.
with the black armband?
Just checking.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, good taste.
Okay.
But
What do you
think?
know?
No, I'm being facetious. You actually, mate, you don't look that bad at all. Like, on the basis of the fact that I said that we don't want things conflicting,
Yeah.
right? So my eyeline immediately goes to the black armband. But the rest of the outfit...
It's because I like the showing the forearms.
The rest of the
Instead
outfit...
of tattoos.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay.
So I'm trying to show
the
off my
tats out,
tattoos.
yeah.
I'm trying to get the tats out.
Tough.
Rolled up chino.
And so, rolled up chino... Like,
2019 though, keep that in mind.
what year is this?
2019.
Okay, so 6 years ago.
What do the comments say?
There's no
He's got
comments.
one comment.
There's one comment.
Yeah, that was
No,
the one
you
I
know
accidentally did.
From my rules that we've been speaking about earlier, it's not an overly bad outfit. To be honest, actually, it's not that bad at all.
I'm not worried about. I'm actually just worried about the hair. That's
I've
what
seen
I'm
way
worried about.
worse outfits. Is that the blonde?
That's a
Yeah.
blonde. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, you know what? This
Look at that head.
this passes for me. This passes for me.
It passes?
Yeah, it passes.
Yeah.
So that was my peacocking
Pass.
days. That was my peacocking days.
Okay, well, it's like a subtle peacock.
Yeah, it's a subtle, but
Nothing crazy.
But because I had the blonde hair, and I always say this, Elliot. I mean, I started the blonde hair, then Bieber got it, then everybody else got it. So I started
Mate.
this trend. But that was the biggest thing. Like going out with the blonde hair, people they would start conversations.
Gravitate towards you.
Yeah, they would just say, "Oh, your hair's shit," which is
Mate,
great.
I know nothing
banter.
about footy, and that's how I knew who Matt Guelphy was from Essendon.
There you go.
Because
There
he
you
had
go.
blonde hair.
There you go. Now, have you got any of DOS before we move on, or yeah?
Have a look.
We'll have a look. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we need 1 for 1 here.
God,
But
yeah,
that wasn't bad.
Have you ever gone? Well, here's a good question for you personally. Have you ever gone through a phase of your life of an emo phase or a they used to call it, what did they, when we were kids, the Metro look, like the real kind of loud clothes.
Well, I'm gay, so Metro is just kind of intrinsically entwined in from the beginning.
Or did you go?
I was like, yeah, Metro, woo, love it.
Have you ever gone like
no.
black hair, emo
Oh, mate,
kind of?
I still to this day, have to stop myself from going to Joey and being like, I'm in the mood for a new haircut.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I got to stick to this now. Like, I've got a universal like kind of look going. Let's just fucking stick to it. Like, I have had blue hair, brown hair, black
Really?
hair, shaved head. I literally looked like a dick. Like, I'm not talking like a fuckwit, like
You
an
look like a
actual
penis.
with a knob. Like, the shaved head was the worst look I have ever worn. And then I bleached it pink, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Wow.
It made me look fully bald because my skin is pink. So I was this is wrong.
So how do you think, if you rocked up to Andy Lee with the first time you're meeting him and you got that look with the pink hair, what's he saying?
You're fired. I mean, like, you're not even hired. Like, no consideration. Like, none whatsoever. Like, no words. No, I've done it all. But also, that's kind of the nature of probably my personality more than my industry.
Yeah.
Like, I love changing, experimenting with different stuff. Like, ultimately, like, it's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
You know, your hair grows, whatever.
True.
You can cut it off. You know, you can
yeah.
swap things out or buy new things or change whatever. Like, just for me, it's always about having a bit of fun with who I am as a person, my identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the best attitude. I mean, what Dos does, and smart, you probably have 2 haircuts a year, typically.
In total, like once every 6 months.
Yeah, but so what he does, it's actually quite kind of smart. He lets it grow all the way out, and then he cuts it all the way back. And then in those 6 months, honestly, every time he rocks up to the studio, it's a new haircut.
What?
New style, like a new style.
Oh, new vibe, okay.
Yeah, but he
So
goes
this
with
isn't
it.
based on economics. You're like, I'm not paying for.
I know I
one
said the word
haircut a
tight
month.
ass
What a
earlier.
waste
That
of
is not
money.
it.
Yeah.
Well, you get a haircut every 3 weeks.
I'm a 3-weeker.
I have a 3-weeker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
Respect.
Yeah, that's a. What about?
What have you found?
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, we got it?
Go on, put it up. Oh wow!
That's a dress-up party.
That is full-blown Woodstock.
That was.
Like, is that a tasseled suede vest? Is that what's going on there? Is that a vest?
I don't think there's. Yeah, it's
Is that
a
a vest?
vest. It was actually my mum's
Please
as well.
zoom
perfect,
in,
yeah.
please. Oh, let's zoom in and
Well, you
let's
said
really
your mum
dissect.
constantly gets stuck into you about what
There
you're
you
wearing.
go.
Okay.
Actually, no. I think it's my mum's shirt underneath. I found the vest.
I believe that it's your mum's shirt more than it's your
Yeah, I
mum's
think
vest.
it's my mum's shirt, and then I found the vest.
This is definitely a costume party.
Yeah, it was disco.
I can't
it
get
was
stuck
disco.
into you for the
And
costume party. Saturday
Josh-
Night Fever, there you go.
And heaps
You've
of
gone with
comments
your
too,
theme.
mate.
You've gone with your theme.
Yeah.
70s.
0 comments. Thank God for that.
But mind you,
comments.
thank God that photo. I see.
Oh, there you go. That's a nice timeless look.
Yes, completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely
Thanks.
agree. Denim jacket, white t-shirt.
much shorter hair.
That's a uniform for the agents, boys.
That's
They will never date.
Pink t-shirt. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
So there you go. We can
Thanks,
still look
Sammy. That's when I was looking at my best.
Could
too.
be a couple of
Thanks.
weeks ago. Like the haircut there. That was obviously just the beginning of the 6 months.
Exactly.
I know back in these days he was a regular haircut.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I wasn't once a
All
month.
right, well, let's put Elliot through his paces now, Sammy. Let's go to some of those styles you found. So again, we said, Elliot, we'd love just your kind of comments as we kind of go through. Well, there we go. We're going to start right in the 90s by the look of it. Is that right?
Okay, this is epic. So you could essentially adapt this now, and it would be completely feasible as like a trend-focused look.
Okay.
Fashion's very cyclical, right? So everything that has happened in the past will inevitably come back into focus. And at the moment, the 90s are having a huge resurgence.
Okay.
But also the 90s are a very timeless time. Timeless time. Use some better words there. A very timeless time for style.
Yeah,
Because it was
okay.
very simplified. Denim, white t-shirt,
Yeah, so for the
easy,
people that
sneakers.
So for anyone listening, go have a look on YouTube so you can actually go and see what we're referring to. But for those that are listening, can you maybe describe
What have we got? So
what
we've got a
kinda looking
classic
at?
David Beckham pap shot. He's in like a brown baggy chino with a leather boot and a white tee. Very, very simple. Nothing is really fighting with each other there. It actually looks great. Again, what we're saying about fit. So
Yep.
he's obviously got a bloody good rig.
Yeah,
Bex.
100%.
So
And
he
he
can
knows
wear
it.
anything.
So he's got a nice tight fitted t-shirt on because it shows that he's got a good rig. Like if
Yep.
you've got it, flaunt it. Literally.
Love it.
In the middle, again, something similar, like a simple pair of light blue jeans, yellow vest. This is probably a little bit more on the campy side of things. Like this is obviously a little bit louder, but again, like the yellow is the focal point of the outfit. The red is complementary to the yellow. They're both primary colors, so like that all kind of works. And then cool hat, cool pair of shades. Shades are like always a great finisher for every outfit, by the way, guys. Sunny's easy finisher.
Yep.
And then
Even indoors?
Tupac.
I was going to say, is that Tupac?
I've got Tupac in the overalls, which I've actually never been ballsy enough to wear overalls.
They're back.
I always
aren't
feel like I'm like painting my house.
Yeah.
But they look sick. And
It's funny
this-
you say that because I was in Chatty on the weekend.
Yeah.
And my mate and I were looking and we saw overalls and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like they're fully. Although I feel like they kind of never really left. They're obviously a huge like part of hip hop culture too.
Yeah.
So this looks really cool, and I love the element that he's kind of mixed in this like preppy rugby top. This top that he's wearing under here, this stripe with the collar and the long sleeves, called a rugby top. And this is a cool juxtaposition, if you will, between street and preppy elements, and that kind of works because they're conflicting in like kind of primary thematics, but they work because of that contrast.
But does it work? I hope this doesn't sound rude. We can
Yeah.
cut if it does. But does it work on like on a white dude?
Yeah, of course.
It does?
Again,
Okay,
it's all
so-
about
so not about
confidence.
it-
It's all about
okay,
confidence.
okay.
All about confidence. If you like that style, wear it
Yeah.
with confidence.
Okay. Let's go next one, Sammy. What have you got? Give
The
us something.
peacocking, the peacocking.
That confidence has been something that's been brought up
Posh
3
man of
times.
the
It's
80s.
definitely confidence.
Okay,
Oh.
so this
Wow,
concept. So
wait.
we're looking at like, okay, so this
Not
is,
sure.
if I'm not mistaken, Sammy, this is like a grab from a show in the 80s called Dynasty. Very iconic 80s show, which was renowned for its fashion. So this 80s vibe, and see all the furs and stuff, this ties into a concept that's been very big in fashion trend called mob wife. This is now being phased.
yeah,
This is being
right.
phased out. So this had a big thing last year, and like House of Gucci, that movie with Lady Gaga, all that kind of stuff was like really ham this up. But like this is full drama, like big hair, big earrings, big jewelry, big shoulders, big furs, big makeup. It's all a bit too much. But this is almost a costume in itself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you can take elements of this for sure. But this concept and this trend has died out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Next one, Sammy. 60s.
Oh.
Is that George Harrison? Who's that?
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know who they are.
That is George Harrison.
And who's the chick?
What's his wife's name?
Who's
Miss-
George Harrison?
Mrs.
Beatles.
Beatles.
Oh shit. What Beatle?
Guitarist.
Okay, great, perfect.
Yeah.
So here's the guitarist from the Beatles.
I love George.
George Harrison, know him well. Now this is really cool because ultimately the 60s and this whole boho thing has actually replaced what we just saw. This mob wife kind of element.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't adapt it exactly like that head to toe because again, it's going to look a little bit like twee, a bit costumey. But this overarching idea, little elements of this is really cool. Like the relaxed hair. Obviously, we're seeing so many dudes now rocking the mauve.
Yeah.
So that's a
Damn,
massive
mo's back.
thing. Printed shirt maybe if you want. But like the fit of this jean is really cool on him. And then she looks great, this little black mini dress and like this is called a mule here. This is like a slide-on shoe. Really effortless. And you can tell they look like they've kind of just grabbed it, chucked it on. And that's what makes it so cool is the fact that it's so effortless.
And it's true because that doesn't look like, I mean, apart from the quality of the photograph.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look like, if that was just somebody walking down the street, you wouldn't.
Was that a subtle George Harrison reference? Photograph?
No, is that- is
He
that
called it a photograph. That's one of his songs, Photograph.
Is it? Is that Ringo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that clearly.
Do you see how this is quite effortless?
Yeah.
Like in comparison to what we saw before.
Yeah.
So this is kind of
right.
the cornerstones of this style, this vibe. Is this very effortless. I just grabbed it, chucked it on, and look how fucking sick I look.
Love it. All right, what's next? Oh, Sammy's giggling. Oh, who's this?
What? Okay.
Is that Billie Eilish?
So that could be Billie Eilish on the far right, couldn't it? Okay, so this is something that I would call a little bit more almost on the grunge side of things. So you've obviously got like leather and biker elements. We're looking at 3 shots from... Sammy, what is this? Have you just put this together? What did you Google? Gothic. Oh, this is gothic.
Gothic.
Well, this is like chic gothic.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say this is goth, like full underpinnings of like proper goth, you know, like mohawk piercings, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a French fashion brand called Balenciaga that is very much playing in this field of like a lot of distressed pieces, like vintage band t-shirts, big baggy ripped denim. These are like the elements that are much more adaptable from a gothic fashion trend and probably much more palatable to the masses if you're not truly committed to like goth. Because goths is the subculture and it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So this is like a fancy adaptation of goth. I kind of love this. I mean, obviously my outfit today is nowhere in the realm of what I'm looking at on the screen. I look like I literally sailed here. But
I was going to say, it looks boat party vibe.
Where'd I park my boat? But this is cool. And I love taking elements of this and putting it against like simple stuff. Like one of you boys could easily, with what you're wearing on the bottom today, sub out one of your merch hoodies and put on one of these cool kind of like vintage band tees and it would work. Distressed sneaker, this kind of vibe. It all plays into the theme.
Love it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you can really mix and match a little bit.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Gareth Bale, footballer,
Soccer player.
well, he's got money. So
I've never heard of him. Okay, that's
I
Barry Crocker.
I just came out of gymnastics.
Mate, that's like you just flew in from fucking God knows where, Europe, and you forgot to take the Qantas PJs off. Like,
Can you zoom in, please?
And also, like...
That's massive.
Oh, wait, are they jeans?
What is... They're like jean shorts, aren't they?
Jort. Everybody who's listening...
Underbelt.
Actually, a jort's not bad if it's like baggier, but this like fitted, distressed jort, not it. It looks like a denim bike short.
I've never liked 3/4 length. Like 3/4 length shorts.
3/4 length is difficult.
Yeah.
It's much easier to wear if you're a female in heels.
Yeah.
Because ultimately what a 3/4 does is it just really cuts the majority of your leg and immediately makes you look shorter.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
I
can't afford to do that. Yeah.
Universally unless you're wearing a heel.
So do you have any, looking at some of these different styles,
Yeah.
like and maybe not even on this list, but is there some that you just go like absolutely no way? Like you'll just never like that style for whatever
personally?
reason? Yeah, you personally.
I'm pretty adaptable, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I'm definitely willing to like hear out why
Yeah, okay.
in every facet of my life, to be honest.
Perfect.
So yeah, no, there's nothing that I'll write off. I'll give everything the benefit of the doubt.
Love it.
Yeah. Sorry, was that too boring?
No, not
That
at all.
wasn't very controversial, was it? But I genuinely mean that. Like I really do mean
That's
that.
good. No, it's good to hear that. Now, do you want to jump into this first segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So maybe, Sammy, can you bring over the 2 Edge?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
So we're going to bring over, and you might actually also have to bring over Elliot's show and tell. So
Don't give it away just yet.
No, we won't give it away just yet. But Dos, do you want to introduce the show and tell?
Yeah, so Elliot's come prepared, which is what we love.
Yes.
Firstly, because
Some of
we've
the
had
guests
guests in the
don't.
past which haven't come as prepared as you, mate. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
But Tour Edge, the show and tell segment is the Tour Edge segment, which Tour Edge, the 725 series. I don't know if you play any golf, Elliot, but
I actually do play a little bit of golf.
Gee, this is
Growing up
this
in
is
a
fitting.
nuts golf household. My mum actually played pennant for Royal Melbourne.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
So not that I have any experience like her.
Well, she would be loving the look of these clubs, I reckon, because Tour Edge have it covered, don't they?
They do. Now, 2 Edge, they actually do, not necessarily fashion, but they do focus on the look they give you on the course. So not only are all these clubs, they're precision made in their, literally tailored to each client, but they make you look the part on the golf course too.
smart
So
looking golf club.
now I'm
They
going to
are.
ask you
They're
a question without notice. Sammy, can you also grab in that goodie bag? Would you be willing to throw on the 2 Edge hat for this
Yeah, come
segment? Yeah, beautiful. Perfect.
Boys,
So,
it obviously means I really like you because I don't really fuck my hair up for anyone.
well, well, we appreciate it. Just grab that hat.
This is big for me.
This is big. Now, for everyone listening, if you do want to check, if you are in the market for new clubs, of course, or accessories like Elliot's about to wear, 2 Edge AU over on Instagram is a place to go. And this is a 2 Edge cap, which you'll go home with today, Elliot.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Yeah,
and
we've
thank
got-
you, Tour Edge.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of goodies for you later. But
I'll
2 Edge,
take this little sticker off. Hold on, there we go.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
2 Edge
Smart.
AU. And,
Jeez, it
gee,
fits
looks
like a
good.
glove.
Go
Fits
with
like
the-
a glove.
What do you think? You've got enough styling advice to take my job now, so does it work for the look?
Go
or what?
on.
Well, going off your advice,
I mean,
the colours. I mean, maybe the cap's just off a smidge, but the white works because you got the white stripes.
Mate,
But
I'm proud of you.
I reckon this. I would substitute the grey for a bit more navy.
Are we like impressed or what?
There you go.
10 out of 10.
All my ex-girlfriends, take that. Now we asked you to bring in a show and tell.
Yep.
Item. So I would love to know what it is.
Okay, so I brought in this box of Lego.
Lovely.
So hold on. Is it coming in?
Yeah.
bring it over. Bring it
Okay.
over.
So I brought in this box of Lego, and I was really interested when you
wow.
brought this segment up. So and obviously the reasons in which why we're doing this show and tell. So I'm not the most sentimental person in the world, so I couldn't really think of too much that I could bring in from a sentimental perspective. But I thought to myself, what can I bring in for a show and tell that's dynamic? So I'm a huge Lego fan. Because my life and my work and everything that I do is very forward-facing and it's very public. And I deal with a lot of people all the time. And so I was looking for an outlet that I could really just be by myself, do something that was like marginally creative and just kind of be with my own thoughts and mung out to some music and just chill. And I came across Lego because I'm a huge YouTube fan. I've got the attention span of an ant. Literally, like I cannot watch anything longer than 22 minutes. And so I was on YouTube and YouTube spat out Lego reviews for Harry Potter. And I'm a Harry Potter like sicko. So I was like, oh my God, cool. I'm going to watch like this review of the Hogwarts Castle Lego. Next minute, bought it on Amazon. And now I continually buy Lego and it's kind of like it's my decompress for my life.
That's an impressive one too.
Yeah, isn't this cool?
Jazz Quartet.
So I wanted to bring this in. So this is Lego Jazz Quartet. So I don't know. I just thought this was a really interesting one. I've done like all different kind of ones. But for me, it was like, I'm not a great person to stop. Like I'm not great at reflection. I'll be the first person to say like, meditation and breath work and mindfulness and all of that. Completely respect everybody who can do that. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't switch off my mind that much. It's too active. And so for me, this was a great iteration of that. This was my version of breathwork meditation. So I just sit by myself and knock this out over a week, and then I'll give it to a friend or a family member, and or give it to my niece or my nephew.
So you've got patience, obviously. You've got patience.
Yeah, you definitely have patience. But also, like, you get these books, and they come in different parts and stuff, so you can just sit there and kind of do it at your own pace. Chuck on some Harry Styles in the background, put on a good vinyl, and then just chill.
Harry Styles, that's a good one. What do you think about his fashion?
I'm absolutely obsessed with Harry Styles. Like, don't even joke about
Tell
it.
my sister.
That's a whole other podcast. Don't.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other podcast.
Do you ever been into Lego?
No, I never was.
Do you know that
I got one set I remember as a kid, and then that's the only set I ever had.
one of the weirdest YouTube algorithms I ever got into? This is years and years ago. This is early YouTube. Did you ever see somebody made like really famous music videos? So they take like Bohemian Rhapsody and they do Lego version. Did you ever see that?
No.
Well, like animation.
No, they'd like someone's created like still shot cameras. Like they play the song in the background and they'd basically make the music video in real life, but in Lego.
Oh wow!
I mean, to be fair, I can relate, but I didn't see the Bohemian Rhapsody music video. I saw
Thriller?
Mean Girls.
Oh,
I saw a Lego Mean Girls.
wow!
Of like the kitchen and shit. I was like, this is epic.
That's unbelievable.
But the Lego Nuffies are like wild. Like I'm kind of obsessed with them. They like collect pieces and build like their own sets of specific stuff. I.e. this Mean Girls one. I was following this chick on YouTube who like went and sourced all the different pieces to build like the little set of Mean Girls.
Wow.
So look, I'm not there yet.
Didn't Andy do Lego show, or was that Hamish?
Hamish.
Oh, that's
Hamish,
Hamish.
yeah, Lego Masters.
Lego
Yeah,
Masters. There you go.
Lego Masters.
Did you
Maybe
ever
I should go on Lego Masters.
Yeah, you should. Maybe that's your next move.
Oh, I don't know if I'm as skilled as that, but hey, like a couple more jazz quartets, and I might be in the running.
I love it. Well, mate, as we said, at the end of the show, we're going to give you a goodie bag too. Ed, you got something else for you too. But mate, appreciate that segment. You don't have to wear the hat for the rest of the show, by the way.
How's the hair?
How's the hair?
There's,
all right?
beautiful.
That looks good.
Perfect. Mate.
Okay, sweet.
Perfect.
Thanks, boys.
No, it was awesome. I mean, I've never been a Lego person, but as a family, oh yeah, you want to grab that, Sammy? Yeah. Did you ever do? You like a puzzle, don't you?
I love a puzzle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I like, but
we were
puzzles,
more
I don't
always
have the patience-
puzzles.
I don't have the patience for a puzzle.
Yeah.
You need a space. You need space for a puzzle.
Yeah,
so,
big time.
Like I like
The kitchen table, that got to work out.
Like,
yeah.
like back in the old days of, but same with you. I struggle to just sit still and
Yeah,
reflect.
yeah,
so Yeah, do you want to do the other segment?
Mate, let's smash it out.
Let's smash it out.
Healthy male.
Okay, so we're going to do healthy male.
Now, we actually had a great chat with Elliot before this because we were talking about men's health and how important it is for men, especially with this campaign, it's check your testicles, check your nuts.
Yep.
And we were actually
self-examining.
And we were actually having a little laugh because it's just awkward. It's such an awkward topic.
Awkward.
It's anything to do with your health. Especially when you go and get it checked.
Mate, anything to do within your undies.
Yep. Yeah. Let's not beat around the bush. Hey?
Pun intended.
Yeah, literally.
Is that still fashionable?
Depends what country you're in.
Okay. But as we did say, it's the healthy male. So we're glad to have these guys on board, Elliot, because they're not actually selling anything. They're just purely awareness.
Yep.
And it is for the men listening. But of course, it does translate to the female audience too, because of course, check your breast too. It all makes translates to the same.
Partners, either way.
Exactly right.
100%. But the main purpose of this campaign is, again, you can get all the information at healthymale.org. But how easy it is to do a
self-examination. Yeah. Well, there's a few simple steps that Healthy Male go by. So number one is know what's normal.
Yep.
So know you're normal and know that, even if there is a lump or something there, that doesn't mean it's cancer.
No.
And if it's found early, I think the leading cause, it's between 20 and 39 years of age. That's the leading cancer for people in that age bracket. So that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have it, but know you're normal.
Yeah, so knowing you're normal, and they say in the shower. So next time you're in the shower, just have a little feel and know what's normal, and it should take less than a minute as well. So it's pretty good time-consuming wise as well.
Exactly. And then we've got the facts about testicular cancer. So 1,000 new cases are diagnosed annually in Australia. Men in their early 30s have the highest rate, so 22 per 100,000, with 36 being the average age at diagnosis. So although rare, it's the second most common cancer for men in their 20s.
Exactly. And the best thing of all is, like Dos said earlier, don't panic. If you do see something, just go and see the GP. It's simple as that. Now, Elliot, it's time to put you under the old pressure cooker test. So Sammy, again, he's come to the party and he's provided us with a few would you rathers.
Okay.
Now, this could go in any direction. I think, have you focused on fashion? You focused on fashion, so we just want you don't have to think too hard.
Okay.
This is just
normally we have a little stress ball that you have to hold, and I don't know where that's gone.
Yeah, it went missing last. I think one of our guests took it.
Ripped it to death, but he actually did.
He loved it. We put him through such a... Now, do you have the first one?
Yeah, I do. So, okay. This one, I reckon it's going to stress you out already.
Stress me.
Yeah, so...
Getting sweaty palms.
Yeah, so you're walking into, say, the office at 7, I'm sure, for a big day of filming, and you're about to get ready. You're walking on the set and you spill your coffee on your shirt. What do you do? How do you recover? Do you go back to wardrobe, or do you wear it and do you own it and have a laugh? What do you do?
I'm straight back to wardrobe.
Yeah.
I got to be presentable at all times. Although, in saying that, I get dressed before I go. So I'd kind of be screwed.
So what happens if you, like, a minute before you go on air?
I'd be fucked.
Well, what if it's not...
I don't know what I'd do. I'd just have to... do you know what? I'd have to ask Shervo or Larry if I could borrow their shirt. And like just tuck it in and put a jacket over it. And I'll give it back to you in 2 minutes, guys, I promise. I've got deodorant on. Like,
this is a hard thing about being in Elliot's industry. Like, you always have to
look
the part.
You need to look the part all the time, don't you?
You can't have off days, can you? Especially when you're on TV. You have to always...
Well, you always want to look presentable, right?
Of course. Of course. Yeah. All right, now this
is... coffee stain is relatable, though.
Yeah, big time. I'm not even bullshitting. That happened to me. That literally happened to me
every single day.
No, 2 weeks ago.
That's why he's wearing black navy.
Yeah. It was the first day back at work, and I got a coffee, and I had a new what's this brand called again? Yeti. Had a new Yeti coffee mug, and the barista, I thought I've always used takeaway, but I had my own Yeti. Took it in. They filled it too high to the top, and when I've tried to push the lid down,
bang,
it's just gone all over me.
Bang.
Went the whole day wearing it.
In the morning too.
Yeah, literally.
All right, now this is a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather have to wear a Hawaiian shirt to every formal event, or have to wear pajamas to a black tie gala?
Every single event, forever.
That's
okay. It'd be pajamas to a black tie gala.
Would that now?
Because you know what I would do?
In your industry, would that be difficult?
I would lean in. So I'd do tucks on top.
Confidence.
Full tucks on top, and then like a really ridiculous, like silky, like old school, like Jimmy Neutron printed boxer short, and then like dress shoes.
Love it.
So then you get the best of both.
So technically, Hawaiian shirt's really bad then?
No, I wore a Hawaiian shirt last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, an actual Hawaiian shirt, might I add. Like bought it on the beach in Hawaii. It had coconut buttons. Like I'm talking authentic.
What colours are we talking? Orange?
It's
yellow?
navy and it's got palm trees on it.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
That's,
it was
that's
cool.
a classic.
I actually quite like that.
All right. Would you rather have to wear a neon green jacket that says "I'm with the band" everywhere you go, or have to wear a shirt with a picture of yourself on it?
Shirt with a picture of myself, obviously. Do I get to choose the picture?
But it's unflattering, the photo.
What's I'm with the band mean?
I don't know. What's that mean, Sammy?
Neon green's probably not my colour.
And it's on the back, you know.
It's on the back. You know what? I'd lean into the me on the top. Do you know why? Is anyone Kath and Kim fan? Remember Kath Day Night? She used to have the handbag with the face of herself on it.
Oh, did she?
So I'm like, inspo. I love that bitch.
Own it.
Like, own it.
All right. Would you rather only be able to wear clothes from the 80s or the early 2000s?
Early 2000s. Because the early 2000s, this whole Y2K thing's like fully back again.
See, but I always think about those early 2000s. Like, you know, when you see those teen movies from the early 2000s, and you look at the fashion, I always think that's got to be the shittest fashion.
It's horrendous. But like,
there's like
I reckon you could. I like the spiky hair.
Yeah, the spiky
and then
hair.
like the shell necklaces.
Yeah. Like, you think about that high school jock. Like, there's always a high school jock character.
Right.
He's always got the spiky hair.
Who's like an asshole.
Yeah.
But I feel like, nah, I definitely, because 80s was what we were looking at before.
Yeah.
So that leans on costume.
Too loud.
That's too loud.
Yeah.
Too loud.
Yeah.
What's one of the ones we'd given over what's one we gave ourselves last week? Because some of those were really good.
Yeah. The one that we all hate is what if you accidentally? So say you go and you like your ex-partner's Instagram photo from like 3 years ago. You went and had a stalk and you accidentally liked it. What do you do? Like, how do you?
You got to own it.
Yeah.
Because you know why? I'll be honest. The other week I was at a wedding. And I had a few too many shandies, and my ex's best mate was at the wedding. So I got a little lippy, as per, a bit of Dutch courage. We've all been there. And I was like, you idiot. Like an idiot. So next day, I was like, you got to own your shit. So I actually called my ex and was like, hey, just a heads up. I was a bit pissed and a bit lippy last night. Before you hear it from your best friend, I just wanted to own up to my behaviour.
Well done.
And he was like, I've already heard. And I was like, perfect, sweet.
Oh, really?
Ciao.
Well, I was getting. I'm guessing you would say the same thing, but I love this one when you send a text to the wrong person. But if you accidentally send a text,
That just happened to me last week as well. Not the screenshot, okay?
Yeah.
Where you screenshot someone's conversation, you accidentally send it to that person. Oh, mate, we've all been there.
Context.
But I was on the receipt of it.
Were you
the
really?
other week. And the timing was so fortuitous for me and so shit for them because I was on the treadie about to go for a run. So I was on Spotify, like going to choose a song. So the messages were happening like in real time. And so it was like bing, bing, bing. Then it was like unsend. And I was like, fucking busted. Anyway, what do? You got to own it. Again, you just got to own it.
So I was just going to say, like, if you accidentally sent to one of your clients a message that was intended to say one of your mates or somebody else about maybe they don't look their best today. I mean, I'm sure you would never do this.
Never.
But in a hypothetical world, if you accidentally sent that kind of text, what do you do?
You got to, well, I mean, my overarching on any of this is you got to own it, right?
Front foot.
Like, exactly as I just said, you got to get on the front foot.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, also the demons, like the head noise, could you imagine if you didn't? Like, it's just so grim. You may as well just like, it's very cathartic, to be honest.
So I'll tell you a story, Elliot. So that photo, the reason there was that one comment on that photo you saw of me earlier, and there's a classic story to this, is it was the most embarrassing.
Was that a thirst trap, that photo?
No, it wasn't. My sister took the photo, right? And it's a stupid it's a horrible photo. Anyway, my sister took the photo on a Saturday. We were going out on a Saturday night, going out with your sister. How cool! But anyway, we were, and she must have taken she took a bunch of photos, and I went to send to her. I said, "Hey, which one do you reckon for Insta?" And I've accidentally sent it into my football group chat. Like the whole team. So I'm talking like 50 blokes.
Mate, were they all like, or were they like, maybe this one?
Oh, no. There was not one bit of sensible advice I could do. And not one even remotely helpful piece of advice. And that was literally, because what it was it was like a Facebook group chat. And it was so early in the old unsend era, I couldn't work out how to unsend it. And I'm just seeing the faces pop up.
Oh my God, the views.
Yeah, the
view dots.
And then I finally, I'm like Googling, how do I delete it? Finally delete it. I literally I remember, I left my room, threw my phone on the bed and just walked out. I came back, checked the group chat.
Annihilated.
And there was people that just said, oh, missed it. What was it? Screenshots.
I tell you what.
Don't worry about it.
Screenshots. Unsend has saved a lot of lives. But if anyone from Apple's listening, can they take off the notification that you've unsent something?
Yes.
I'm like, why would you let us us be able to unsend something, but then still rub it in our faces that they know that we've unsent it. We've
Instagram
obviously done something incriminating here.
100%.
What do Instagram do?
Well, Instagram don't send you notifications.
Don't they?
Unsend.
Oh, they don't? WhatsApp does.
I don't think
WhatsApp does, and
Facebook?
Messenger. iMessage.
Oh, yeah.
If you're an Apple user,
I didn't even know you could unsend iMessage messages.
mate.
Can you?
Off. When
What?
we're off,
Oh, God,
I'll teach you a thing or two.
I need it.
That would have saved my life many a time. Yeah.
Now, before we let Elliot go, do you have any burning questions for Elliot? About anything, your fashion?
Maybe off air, I'll ask about my own personal fashion advice.
Yeah,
Well, actually, one thing, skinny jeans, yes
Yeah.
or no?
Again, it comes down to personal preference. At the moment, are skinny jeans the trendiest thing in market? No, it's more of a straight leg.
Yeah.
So just something that's a little less relaxed. And a straight leg means the same kind of fit through the thigh, but then it doesn't taper off. So it's not a huge transition away from what you're used to, because I know a lot of guys still really like to wear skinny jeans. So you're kind of maintaining the same fit through the thigh, the upper leg, but then it just goes into a straight leg down through your calf. So it doesn't have to be skin tight on your calf. And that's a good start to start playing with a different vibe.
I like both. I
And-
still like the skinny.
Yeah, okay, there you go. See,
In
there's
terms
nothing
of-
wrong with that either.
In terms of, and you said like that everything goes through cycles.
Totally.
How many years typically between the cycles? So like when if you were to make a bold prediction, when does skinny jeans become in again?
Well,
How
it's
long would
funny.
it take?
You know, do you guys know the brand Subi, Australian fashion denim brand?
We're looking at each other.
I'm like,
going,
hold on. I thought I was going to learn in here. Like, what is this?
I told you, you're not going to learn a thing. You're not going to
Okay,
learn a
so
thing.
Subi is like probably Australia's most famous denim brand.
Okay.
Remember little X's on the back of the jeans? No, anyway, okay.
No.
We won't waste any more time on this. We won't waste any more time. But they
Mate,
have-
I'm telling you, I wasn't joking. I shopped at Kmart and Target for the longest time. I'm only just expanding into places like Chadstone. So, yeah.
Chadstone is not a shop. Chadstone's a mall with Target and Kmart. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I go to more of those like cooler shops now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The ones that you can find in Chadstone. I
Yes,
assume.
yeah,
Okay,
like
perfect.
the. I'm not going to name brands.
The
because
Uniqlo.
Yeah.
That's my
No, I
favourite.
love Uniqlo.
Yeah, same.
Uniqlo's great.
That's
but
my
Cause,
fave.
also awesome, great affordable stuff. But Subi have brought back the ultra skinny low-rise jean. So the stuff that we were talking about early 2000s. So let's call fashion's got a life cycle of 20 years. We'll be back 20 years time. You'll be revisiting the stuff
20
again.
years. So about
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
And I just one final question about again when we go shopping because
Yeah.
I get overwhelmed. So what's some advice for a person like probably all us boys in the room here
Yep.
outside of you that don't go shopping too often, and when you do, it's stressful. It's not a fun
Mm-hmm.
time. How do you get yourself prepared? Should you go in and just know exactly what you want and you're really just focusing on the fit, or should you go in open-minded?
Go in with the focus on the reason that you're there.
Okay.
First things first. Because you otherwise you'll get too overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So let's say you want to do a wardrobe refresh. I need 5 new white t-shirts. I need 2 new pairs of pants. So you're going in there, you're like, okay, where are the white t-shirts? What are we doing and where are the pants? So from there, then, as I said earlier, like utilize the retail staff. These people are amazing.
Yeah, true.
And they're really well versed in their stock and the product that they have been trained to learn about. So that, and as I was saying earlier, like I loved my time in retail because I got to develop relationships for an hour, or I got to develop ongoing relationships with people that would continually come back to visit me to replenish their wardrobe. So go in there with that purpose and be like, hey, I'm looking for 5 different styles. That's a ridiculous example. Say no one's looking for 5 different styles of white t-shirts. Nobody. But I need to do some white t-shirt refresh. Can you show me? And like, you know, I prefer something a little bit more fitted. And they'll guide you in that direction. Don't feel embarrassed to ask questions. They're there to help.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you op shop at all?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I bought these, my jeans today at an op shop.
Love them.
Yeah.
Because I was my last question was going to be around budgeting and like when trying to work out or committing to going to the shops, you know, you don't have to spend crazy amounts of money.
Not at all.
How do you go about, you know, setting yourself a budget and going out there and deciding I'm going to spend X amount, but you can also go to the op shop as well?
Absolutely. I think that ultimately just go and spend within one's means is probably the thing that I would advise. And also that, as I said earlier, just because it's designer doesn't mean it's good. There's amazing stuff in the market that is not a designer brand, and nor does it have to be a designer brand. I don't want to sit here and endorse that anybody has to go and buy designer clothes. You can buy just pieces that you like. As I said, I bought these from the op shop. They cost me $30. I absolutely love them. So it's just going and finding those different bits and pieces, creating as I said, that level of uniformity. So finding what you like. So it could be blue jeans, white t-shirt, pair of sneakers, black bomber jacket, and then just go online and find the places that have that within your price range.
Do you reckon the whole designer thing is, well, you probably maybe don't see it this way because you probably mix in circles where, you know, I'm going to ask designer, is it ego? Is it ego based? Do people want to buy designer purely because I want to show you, Elliot, that I can afford this and it's, look at me? Or is it, everyone's different. I know, like some people want it. Like you've got your bag collection that you literally, you want to collect that for yourself. But I've always thought, are people just dressing that way because they want to look like?
Well, I think that a lot of people like resonate with specific like design aesthetics as well. And ultimately in the fashion industry, what does tend to happen is that the designer brands will essentially set the global fashion trends, and then what those trends are being shown on the runways of Paris, London, New York, and Milan will then filter down all the way down to like the high street stores. So high street stores being like your Zara's, your H&M's, your Cos's, all of that kind of stuff. So I think that if you're a true aficionado for fashion and that is a passion of yours and that's a driver of yours, then you'll be more inclined to buy the original designs and those garments. But there's nothing wrong with buying them from Zara either.
Any predictions in 1 or 2 years' time of fashion that we're not seeing the trend yet, but just a bold prediction of what we could see in 1 or 2 years?
Oh, here we go.
Shit, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm like, actually don't know.
What do you think?
I didn't think about that. Because as I said, everything that comes through is inspired by the past to an extent.
So we've kind of gone through that. So don't tell me we're going back to the early 2000s.
No, but then like what we're doing now will then maybe be adapted in another 20 years. So like in 2045, are we like taking inspiration from what we were wearing in 2025?
Yeah,
so I believe anyway that that's how fashion and design works, is we're constantly taking inspiration from the past. Yeah. Whether it's obvious or not, there's always fundamental elements to specific things. Even suit tailoring, like how wide a lapel is can determine whether it was a suit from the 70s or the 80s. So there's always these little elements that differentiate, but always, throw back to the past.
Sammy, can you grab the goodie bags? We've got to give Elliot his presents. But while he's doing that, so just a bit about yourself in terms of where we can actually find you and watch you, especially on Channel 7.
Okay, so I have one form of social media. I'm such a boomer. I literally just have Instagram at Elliot Garnaut. That's me. It's all happening on Instagram. Not really, but that's where the socials are. And then you can catch me on Channel 7. So I am on Sunrise every week, generally around 8:40. So if anyone's sitting in front of the telly at 8:40, I'd love to have your company. We're talking all things fashion, and then the morning show as well. So morning show is generally around 10:30. And again, we're talking all things fashion. And if we're not talking all things fashion and trends, we're breaking down red carpets. So if you're into celebrities and you want to hear my opinion on what I thought of an international red carpet, I'm on there doing that as well.
Just actually wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts on that. So I'll be tuning in next time.
Yeah, what was that? Who recently wore that?
The nude?
Yeah, the nude.
Kanye West's wife.
Oh, yeah. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I just thought that was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, I didn't mind it, actually.
Yeah, of course you did. Actually, probably your favourite red carpet look to date.
It was good, yeah.
Actually, probably the only red carpet look that you could actually name.
True. I thought, yeah, I could see that being the next trend. Would be all right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm like, power to it. Not for me.
Nah. I was joking, by the way. It's all fiction.
And that will be clipped.
Yeah, that will be great. Now, we're not sending you home empty-handed today, Elliot, of course. Now, we're going to bring over the Milkman first. Now, Milkman is leading all male grooming. So this is Milkman & Co. MilkmanAustralia.com is where you guys can go and get all your male grooming needs. We're talking beard oils, hair oils, cologne.
Well, I need a beard oil, actually. This beard's new. So there we go.
There you go. What have they sent you? Because each box is different.
I've got a natural deodorant.
Beautiful.
Nice. And I've got a perfume.
There you go.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Bit of perfume.
Milkman King of Wood. Should we give it a spritz?
Yeah, let's do that.
Come on, we'll have a little sniff on air. We'll give it a live review. Nice bottle. Sturdy, good weight. Shows it's good qual. Nice. Actually kind of like floral. Like I was expecting it to be more...
We might have to give that a go.
Yeah,
it's quite nice,
I was looking at clones on the weekend,
It's not overly masculine and it's not overly feminine. It's actually really nice.
Beautiful. There you go. Well, guys, 20% off if you use the code dos&d at milkmanaustralia.com for your first order. So go and check all of that out.
Sammy, bring in the dos&d goodie bag.
By the way, just for everyone watching this part and listening to this part of the pod, if it's getting cut up, sorry about the Band-Aid. I probably could have put on a nude one. Here it's bright red.
No, we love that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a dos&d goodie bag. So firstly, you've got the tote bag with the dos&d logo on there.
Merch.
So merch. There you go.
Enjoy that.
Okay, I got my hat.
You got your hat, so you got that back.
Am I unpacking it?
Oh, you don't have to.
Okay, let me give you one. Let me give you two things that I'm pumped about. New golf club.
Yep.
Sweet.
Courtesy of Fleet Plan High Solutions, that one.
And what is this?
Well,
Oh, that's the
Don't tell me everything's gone flying out of it, but there's
golf balls.
There's golf balls,
That's
golf
your little
tees.
I thought it was a leather hood. I got all excited, boys. Off to the driving range.
we have to get them on board to bring you back on again. New sponsors. But yeah, in there you should find a bunch of things. There's some Bayford Ford in there. You've got Fleet Plan Hire. You've got Musashi. You got Healthy Mail, and of course 2Edge and Fleet Plan Hire. I think that's everything.
I think you've covered it all.
I hope so. I hope so, because we'll be in trouble if I haven't. But mate, thank you so much for joining us. I know this is probably not your normal podcast, and we probably are complete nuffies in this area.
I actually had the best time, guys.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
That's all that matters.
I found myself at times going, oh, geez, I hope I'm asking the right questions in the right way.
Yeah.
You know, we had fun. It was awesome.
It was an absolute pleasure. I'm really honoured to come on. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Elliot.